Hello, everyone. Thank you for
Hello.
joining. How are you, Sandra?
I'm good. How are you, Gerald?
I am well, and this is the lovely Sandra from the Whispering Well. A link is below, so please, by all means, like and subscribe. So we all know that. I did see the notice posted, so that is good. And we're talking today. This is an out of print deck. Hashtag we know. Hashtag it's out of print. Hashtag oh here. let me do these.
Yeah,
Know your limits, purchase responsibly.
right.
And let's see. Tarot collectors disclaimer. So just there you go.
Yeah.
But we both like this deck. And this deck is, so this is a welcome to our deck casual for The Vampire Tarot by Robert M. Place. So Robert M. Place is a deck creator, actually I have the link to his channel in the description below. And we both like this deck. I found out, did I find out over a year ago you had it?
I think so. Yeah, it was a while ago when you
Mm-hmm.
asked me, about it. Yes.
So anyhow, know your limits. It's out of print. Robert M. Place, I believe, has no intention of reissuing this. The deck is from St. Martin's Press. And when was it? Trying to figure out when it was published.
2009.
Yes. And for those of you who want to know, there's the ISBN.
Yeah, because you can sometimes still find it on eBay, but it's not cheap usually when it comes up on there now.
Yes. And I did purchase mine from eBay. It was unused. I paid I was pleased with how much I paid for it. I don't regret it, but it was a fair amount. So
Mine wasn't.
that
I got
yeah,
mine
well,
very
yeah,
good
yours
price because I think it probably was one of those cases where the person didn't know what they had and was just getting rid of things. So
yes,
I was fortunate, but it was a long time ago.
yeah. So let's say hi to a few people. Jamie, Wandering Mountain Bardic Path, who says, I'm going to be disgusted the entire time because I don't have this deck, slightly green with envy. However, I'm here for for you two discussing and having fun. Thank you. And Jane the Seeker Tarot, who, by the way, tomorrow is Tuesdays with Tarot Stash exclusively on Jane the Seeker Tarot tomorrow morning. So you can all tune in there. And Media Betsy Palmer is here. Hello, Betsy. Betsy and I and a yet to be confirmed guest are a week from tomorrow are doing a laugh and learn about psychic hygiene.
Oh.
So everybody should tune into that. Yeah. And Sunique Tarot is here. Hello, Sunique. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. And it's not just mean. What's mean is to not tell you that it's out of print. Cardamancy Mesquite, hello.
Hi.
And Sunique Tarot, also fortunate to have this deck.
Brilliant.
Yes. Yeah. Lorraine is here. Hello. Jennifer Ball's Witch House has it. Jenna has this deck. And oh, this is wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Gerald and Sandra, so nice to see you together and looking fabulous. We were just talking about that earlier. I've been missing the lovely Sandra. And Manasa Wellness is here doing that work lurking thing.
Yeah.
Doing that work lurking. Heather, Indigo Jaguar Intuitive Arts is here. And thank you, Jane. Jeffrey and I were out and about yesterday, and I was telling him what I have going on, and I found this nail polish inexpensively, and Jeffrey was like, good. I was telling him that we were doing the Robert M. Place Vampire Tarot Deck Casual, and he's like, ooh, the red seems to work. It's like, okay, cool. And Sunique got a night off of work.
Oh, excellent.
You're welcome, Jamie. Debbie 777 is here. Debbie also has it. So Tony is here. Hello, Tony. Good to see you. Coyote the Gray, good to see you. Thank you for being here. And I've been looking for this. It's as rare as rocking horse stuff.
Yeah.
Micah is here. Hello, Micah.
Hi.
Okay, Coyote the Gray. They're not going to reprint this one. They're not going to reissue it. Robert has, I've seen an interview or two, or I've read some stuff. There's no interest in it. And what I will say, go ahead.
It's a shame, really, that he doesn't like reissue it into those nice boxes. He's got like the alchemical and that in now.
Mm-hmm. This is by St. Martin's Press. It was released by St. Martin's Press. Robert does his own. He has his own organization that prints them. I actually think this is. He talks about in this book. By the way, it's a Robert M. Place, so the book is really incredible.
It's
and it really is. And we have the history and philosophy of the tarot. The Vampire in Legend and Art.
I love that.
Yeah, it's quite good, well studied. The Vampire Tarot Trumps, the minor suits and the tools of the Slayer, and then using the cards, and then there's also a lot of notes. This is, in reading it, he does a nice job of explaining why he did this, why he created it. And so,
but it's not like his usual thing, is it really? So it kind of doesn't surprise me that he's not going to reprint in a way. It's not his usual, is it, type of thing?
It's not, but it's also not a stretch that he was curious about it.
No, true.
So, yeah. And okay, so Beth is here, Aspasia Rising, and Beth, I got the lovely gift, tarot sachet. It's beautiful. Jenna actually is taunting everybody. Seriously, know your limits, purchase responsibly. So Tony has 0, and I think I saw Justin Michael pop in something. He said the same about the Buddha Tarot, and it was picked up by Schiffer. Hey, all. Well, okay.
You never know. You never know.
We never know. And by the way, Jenna said that was just for the book, not for the deck.
I was say, because I've seen it go for £200 and more.
Yes. Kathy is here. Hello. Kel's fam is here. Hello. So yes, and that's a good point, Justin, Michael. I appreciate it. So because this is an out of print and hard to get, Sandra and I are going to do a little bit of something different. We're going to actually do a flip through and talk about the cards that have inspired us as we go through it, so that everyone can see the cards, because I have not seen a whole lot of flip throughs of this. So
no, actually there isn't.
Kel said, I'm sharpening my claws as I watch, so I might not may not be as chatting as much. So long as they're not at us, that's good. So I'm all good with that. So, all right, I'm going to Emma the Gray is here. Hello.
Hey, Emily.
And so, okay, I have my list of stuff that we talk about, and oh, Jane the Seeker is leaving the chat and going to the full screen. So, oh, sure, torture Jane and I. You're welcome. Glad to help. Glad to help. So, okay. So this is released in 1990, and it does come in a two-part box.
2009, Gerald.
What was that?
2009 it was released.
What did I say?
1990.
2009. Thank you, Sandra. It does come in a two-part box. So, two-part box.
Yep.
And it has that plastic insert
Yeah.
where the cards sit in. And it does come with an amazing book. We've waxed poetic about this book. So
yes, the book is so good.
Yes. And it is a Robert M. Place, so you know it's well researched.
Exactly.
I actually find it very readable. It's not.
Yes, actually, I do. Yes, I would agree.
So, Kathy said, I'm going to enjoy this deck vicariously through you. And Justin Michael said, this is the only deck of his I don't have. So, and Emma the Gray said, I picked up a copy earlier this year from someone in a Facebook group.
Brilliant.
It was reasonable, relatively. And so,
excellent.
Okay, so the card stock, what do you think of the card stock?
It's not bad. I suppose some might say it's a bit thin, do you think? But saying that though, if you riffle shuffle, it's probably
you can riffle shuffle. To be honest with you, I have not shuffled this deck. I have just admired the cards.
I have overhand though. I don't riffle shuffle.
Okay.
And it can be sticky because it's high gloss.
Yes, it is a high gloss. You can see that. So we have that. And
the cards are also larger than your normal tarot size as well.
Yes. And so here we'll do this. Here are the backs.
Cool.
I think the back is quite interesting.
Yeah.
But here's the size. So it is larger, both width and height.
Yes.
So, hi, Urshi. Good to see you.
Urshi.
Yeah, Justin said, Robert's books are always very readable despite the long, intimidating titles. Yes, you are correct. So there's that. I showed the back. There are no extra cards, so it's 78 cards. And let me hold up this. I'm trying to be careful. So it's
quite a thick deck. It's quite chunky.
Yes, it is a thick deck. And so, you were talking about if there were one thing you would want to do, is you would want to round the edges.
Because I don't like sharp corners. I hate sharp corners on decks. Any other decks I've had that have had sharp corners, I've corner rounded, but I won't with this one because it's out of print. But I'd love to.
Yes. Miss Charlotte is here. Hello, Miss Charlotte. Please say hi to Sandra. Like and subscribe to her channel. It's linked below. There's not really any major changes. The names of the majors have changed. We will go through them and you'll be able to see. Okay. So we'll talk about. And then his card is Strength is 11 and Justice is 8.
That's it.
So be aware of that.
Yeah.
there are the courts are very interesting, and we'll wait until we get there, as well as the suit names are different. So
Yes.
hashtag taunting you. Now you have to say. Jennifer's Bell's Witch House said, that's the only thing I dislike, the square corners.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
So the correct way, round, and Tony said. All right. So shall we start going through these?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And Jonathan the Fool.
Yeah,
So this is based upon Bram Stoker's Dracula,
yeah,
which is one of the most popular books ever written, supposed to be perhaps second to the Bible as of the printing of the book.
yeah.
And and by the way, in preparation for this, I listened to Dracula on audio, and I still think the Bram Stoker's Dracula with Keanu Reeves is one of the best depictions of the book in film,
Right.
because there's a lot of exposition and a lot of understanding of the characters, and that movie does that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
That's
okay. So this is Jonathan the Fool. I like how when you look at that, we see the mouth.
Yes, I like the mouth. Like going into the
Yeah.
castle. Are we saying which are our favourites as we get to them?
Yes, please.
Okay.
This is one of my favorites because I think once he
Right.
goes into the house, everything starts in the book.
Right.
So
Yeah.
All right. So we'll go to the magician.
This is a favourite of mine.
And this is Count Dracula, or
Yeah.
Dracul, Vladimir. Yeah.
They say Dracula.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
But yes, and he's like half not there kind of thing, isn't
Yes.
he?
Yes.
Because they say that Dracula can like come to you as a mist and things like that, don't they? So whether that's why that's depicted, but I do like that, and I like the moon up
I
here as
agree.
well.
I agree.
So yeah, that's a favourite.
Yes. And then we have Mina, who is the high priestess. I think it's a great choice for Mina being the high priestess.
Yes, I do.
So, hi Hillary, watching on the telly while in and out of the kitchen. Count Dracula, yes. So, and then 3 are the brides.
Yeah, which would I don't know about this one. I
I
like it. I
understand.
like the artwork and everything, but what would traditionally be, you know, the Empress? Don't know.
Yes, I understand that. I
Mm,
like the image. I
yeah,
get
me too.
it.
Yes, me too. But
Yeah, there is the but.
yeah.
What came first, the film or the deck? Tony, the book came first.
Yeah.
um, and the film was 1992. And thank you. Robert M. Place had been researching the deck for quite a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Okay, we have confused medium Betsy Palmer. I'm sorry you're confused.
Oh.
So the majors are named by characters often.
Yeah.
So And then we have the Emperor, number 4, would be the Count.
Would be the Count, yes. Yeah, so I guess they are, or a lot of them are renamed from what would traditionally be, like we had the brides, which would be the Empress, and we have the Count, which would
Yes.
normally be the Empress. So you have to really go off of the number if you know, like
Yes.
US.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then the Hierophant,
It's
number 5, is Van Helsing,
yes.
which I think Van Helsing is a perfect depiction for the Hierophant.
Yes, I really like that he's the Hierophant in this deck.
Yes. It's so lined up. Okay. And then we have the Lovers.
Don't like this card.
Why?
Because the Count is depicted as really old and looking really horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it would have been nicer if he'd have had the nicer image. I know, I get it, but I just think, oh, really? For the Lovers?
Sure.
It just, you know,
Sure.
if he'd been in his more kind of handsome looking
Mm-hmm.
than this, that's all really.
Yes. Well, and I think in the book he talks about how Dracula, the story goes through archetypes,
Yeah,
and so that is really
it does. That's true.
helpful. Okay. Here's the Chariot, which is the wagon. And this is Robert M. Place's typical style, which I am a fan of.
Yes.
I did a deck casual with Ben and Robin. It's linked below. I'm just a fan of it.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of his style. Maria, Lady Knight of Avalon, is here, and Kathy said, yes, I don't understand the brides for the Empress, but I'm guessing he has a great explanation in the book. I'm so jealous right now.
Yeah.
He probably does.
Yeah. Justice.
And 8 is Justice, and we have the townspeople. Or no, these are the guys.
Aren't these the two guys?
Yes.
Like Lucy's two guys that are
Yes.
are trying for her love kind of thing.
Yes. And I was just looking for. What is wonderful is you, throughout the book, you get a refreshed history lesson as it relates specifically to that card.
Yeah, you do.
And I think it's quite good. Quincy banishing his Bowie, and Jonathan his Kukri, standing in front of Dracula's castle, blocking his return. So there we go. Like that. Yeah. All right. So then we move to the Hermit.
I like this one. This is one of my favorites.
I do too.
It looks so creepy, doesn't it? And those woods. Does. And I like that he's got like a candle instead of a lamp.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool hermit.
Yes, it's quite lovely.
Yeah.
It's quite lovely. And then we have for 10, yeah, the Hermit is cool. Then we have Fate.
Yeah. Not a favourite of mine, this one, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of very often like that about the Wheel of Fortune. It's never usually a favourite of mine. I don't know.
I actually like this, and what's nice about it is we have one side of it is dark, one side of it is light. We have a bat hanging down, and you know, the 3 fates. I appreciate that, and you can also see the shears where they're cutting the thread.
And the 3 here, I think they're in the same colour robes as the Empress card, the brides.
That would make sense. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Then we go to Strength.
Yes.
Medium Betsy Palmer said, Fate is really working for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is an interesting deck, Sherry.
Like the wolf in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I like how strength is, she is sort of floating, which is what happened in the book.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Pamela Batchelor said, this is probably my number one wish I had in deck. Ooh, Peter J. Watts is listening while pressing apples for cider.
Oh, no.
Lovely.
I love this.
I do too. This is
For the
12.
hangman,
Yes, it's great, the Hangman.
it's the madman, which of course,
Yep.
in the asylum.
I love it. And I love the expression on the face. And I think expressions are so hard to
Yes, but he's
so
like
hard to get.
captured that kind of look of insanity, like in his eyes and that, hasn't he?
Yes.
That madness.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
And look at the spider hanging down as well, because he was
Yes.
eating spiders and bugs and things, wasn't he?
You got it. He was eating spiders, flies, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Patricia Tyree is here. Hello. And Maria said, well, the brides got a baby to eat from Dracula, did they not?
They did.
I can kind of see the brides as empress. I can get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then we have death.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool.
I think that's okay. Stake through the heart.
Yep.
And then we have temperance. Hashtag not for everybody, whatever. So.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah, not a favourite of mine, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Then we have the devil. I
love
am
this.
a fan of the devil.
Yes, me too. Do you know what? I laugh. I don't know. I laugh at this because it's just, look at his hair. It just looks a bit mad.
That's my hair before I actually tie it
Is
back.
it, Gerald?
It really is. So maybe I'm the devil.
You're the devil.
Yes. And
I really like that. I like the facial expression and that on that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's
cool.
Yeah.
So, and I like how the chained and all.
Yes.
And that. So, yeah. So, and then we have the bats behind all that.
Yeah. Exactly. And you notice how you kind of look at it at first and you're noticing the devil, you're noticing the red skin and stuff, and then it's, oh, there's bats, oh, there's a wolf, but you don't necessarily see that immediately.
Yes, which is a lot of times what happens when you're dealing with stuff that is associated with the devil.
Yes.
We don't recognize it immediately. It requires us to go in and look carefully.
Yeah.
Hi, Deb H.
Hey.
Then we have the tower.
I do like this one because it's Dracula's castle, and we have a bat, which might be Dracula himself flying from the castle.
It very well could be. It's also does not include anybody falling out of it.
No, it doesn't. But we still got the lightning strike here.
Yes. So. Yes. You know what I have not done is I have not laid these out. I don't have a clear table to put them all out. It would be interesting. Did I say hi to Hillary Hagstone? If not,
you did,
hi.
Yeah. I think you did, okay. Yeah.
Then we have the star. Yeah, it's one of those things that's like, okay.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
But it's, oh, that's my favourite. Well, not for me.
Mm-hmm. Here's one of my favorites. I really like the moon.
This is a nice one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Quite lovely.
Yeah, it is.
And then we go to the sun.
I like this one.
I do too.
Because, of course, we know that the sun will burn vampires. But we've also got, like, almost like Abbey ruins in the background, and of course,
Yes.
You've got the whole Whitby Abbey thing with like Bram Stoker and Dracula, but that also, because it's me, my mind goes to Glastonbury Abbey. But
Oh, of course. Well, and I do like how we have the sun. He does a nice
yeah,
job of showing the sun,
it does.
which is
Yes,
powerful.
yes, I like it too.
Then we have Judgment.
Yeah.
I like this take on it.
Mm.
And it says, "Here lies the body of Captain Jonathan," and death. I think it's an interesting. It is not your typical depiction, but
No.
all of the elements are there, which I
Yes.
appreciate.
Yes. Very true.
So, yep. Hashtag nudity alert. Now we have the world, which
I
is,
like the snake. Sorry.
yes,
Snake.
it's beautiful.
Mm.
It's beautiful. And this is one of the things that I appreciate about Robert M. Place is his ability of composing images that work together.
Yeah.
Is really good. And it could be Jonathan Harker.
Yeah, I wondered that. Is it Jonathan Harker?
So, okay, I could actually look it up really quickly. I always get annoyed. Okay. Please hold.
Angel.
It does not say in my quick scan.
No.
Okay, so.
In Stoker's novel Dracula, besides being able to rest in his tomb or in a box of his native soil, could inhabit an unhallowed grave such as the grave of a suicide victim that he found in the 18th century cemetery in Whitby.
Which is where the reading this book would be so helpful in understanding a variety of things.
Yeah.
So the minor suits, it's called Minor Suits and the Tools of the Slayer.
Yes.
Which I think are quite nice. I like that.
Yeah.
And goes through and gives in the book. Yeah, by the way, I'm going to be using this because now I'm going to, please hold while I tag something that I just remembered was in here. He does a nice job of numerology. Hashtag Tarot the Stashway coming up soon. And lots of good stuff. Okay, so first we have the Ace of Holy Water.
Yes.
I actually really appreciate how the water is coming out of the tree.
Yes, I like that too. And of course, this would equate to cups in your normal deck, but these, as you said, they're classed as the tools of the Slayer. So water.
Yes, I would say, Sunique said, so Mina is the world card too. That would make sense to me because the book focuses a lot of attention on Mina. So we have the Ace of Holy Water.
Yeah.
And then we have the Two of Holy Water. So while we're looking at this, these are Pip-ish decks.
Yeah.
Because the suit is there, but we have an illustration. So this is where. Go ahead.
That's what I like, that there's an illustration as well, that it's not just the pips, because that would put me off.
Yes. Sorry, I got distracted. But this is where the illustration here is when they are giving her blood.
Yes.
Then we have the 3 of holy water.
Yes.
And the 4. It's
all part of the story.
It's all part of the story, yes. Yes. Yeah. And then we have the 5.
5.
Mina typing.
This is Mina typing the letter probably to Jonathan.
Yes. And then we have the 6.
This is quite a cool image.
It really is, yes. Visually quite stunning. I like the 2 of them with the lines behind. It really helps. Yeah. Then we have the 7, which includes the image that most of us relate to. We see this Nosferatu, one of the
style vampire.
Yes. So it's I like that.
Yeah.
Beth said, Gerald and all, I highly recommend Who Was Dracula by Jim Steinmeier, which goes into Stoker's influence, says, for creating the Dracula character. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nosferatu. Yep. So thank you, Sherry. And then we have the 8. I just, there's so much in the story there.
Yeah.
From the story. It's so descriptive.
Yes.
Emma the Grey says Nosferatu, kind of creepy cute.
Yeah. Kind of creepy cute.
Peter J. Watts said, as I watch the apple juice flow from the press, I think that's holy water as well, especially when I make one of the batches into hard cider. Oh, yeah. That's true. We have the 9.
Yeah.
And then we have the 10.
See, this one's a bit more pippy, isn't it? It's just a spider's web and the pips.
Sure. Yeah. It does give us reference to Renfield.
Yeah, true.
Because of the spiders.
Because of the spiders, yes.
Yep. Okay, this is where, and I am not as prepared as I could be. When we go into the court cards, Robert has actually given us references to important people.
Yeah.
So we have the Knave of Holy Water, and this is Carmilla.
Yep. This is probably one of the only decks where I actually like a lot of the court cards.
Oh, that's good. Tony said at least his pips aren't lazy.
No.
Like some recent mass market.
Tony, I agree.
And Pamela said, there's no fall without cider. And hi, Calla Lizzie. Hello, Robin. And then we have the Knight of Holy Water, which is Joseph Sheridan I am going to butcher that name. Le Farn. And this is where I need the book. It is really Kathy, it's a great question. It follows the RWS Tarot de Marseille.
Yeah.
Robert is very influenced by the Tarot de Marseille.
Yeah.
Like so, because, the 8. Yes.
Yeah.
So, it's a good question. Thank you.
This is one of
and then we have the
cards coming up.
You have your favorite cards?
Yeah, this one.
I think this is great. What an amazing nod to Pamela Coleman Smith, the Queen of Holy Water. Yep.
Yeah. I love this.
Yep. Hi, Viviani. And then we have the King of Holy Water.
The Henry Irving.
Yep. Fox with a book is here. Hello, Fox. So everybody who is just joining us, we are doing a deck casual for the Vampire Tarot out of print by Robert M. It is an out of print deck by Robert M. Place, and we're actually going through all of the cards because this is a deck. It's hard to come by, and so we're including a flip through and talking about some of the cards that we like. And so now we have the Ace of Swords, and is that what it's called, or did
Ace of Knives?
Ace of Knives?
Mm-hmm.
How's that?
Cool.
Boom. That's very pippish, but then we go into the Two of Knives. I think his illustration, Robert's illustrations, are so very clear. I do appreciate it.
Yes. This one I like.
Yes. What do you like about it?
Because it's an anatomical heart, which I quite like to see. I also like that it's different colours. Like we've got like a purple bit here, and then the red as well.
Yes, so. I appreciate the fact that it has purple on it.
Yes.
Robert. He's such a good artist. Excuse me.
He is.
I appreciate his art. His art style resonates with me.
Yeah, me too.
So, yeah. Yes, Coyote the Gray said definitely emphasis of the stalemate. You're right.
Yeah.
And I like how this is. They're two different hands. They're two different people.
Yes, they are. So.
Okay. The 4, Memento Mori, mispronounce it.
Look how they're all different as well, those knives.
They are. Emma the Grey said this 4, one of my favorites.
Yeah, I like the skull in it as well.
Yes.
If we're just talking visually.
Oh, well, yeah. And then we have the 5. I appreciate this 5. I appreciate the vibe it gives in the sense it's tempering the steel, it's creating. Yeah. So I value that.
Yeah, it's creating another knife.
Yes. And if people would like me, as you're watching this back or when we're done, if you would like me to do a flip through of this just with it on my channel, please leave a comment. I love this card.
Yeah.
I think it's great. Probably
to be like the Demeter when it's sailing towards
the
UK with Dracula aboard.
Yes. Hashtag Sandra wins because she gives a good reference to the book.
Oh, God.
She has and Lady Knight of Avalon Maria said, this just makes me want to see Dracula the musical now. Dracula the musical was unexpectedly good. I had a chance to see it. So
excellent.
So I like that. And then we have the 7.
The Nosferatu type character again.
Yep, sneaking in.
Yeah.
And then we have the 8, which, yes, that's good.
That is.
I like that.
Yes.
Robert in Place, if you're actually watching this, thank you for releasing this into the wild. I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
Then we have the 9. I think is one of my favorites. It's so powerful.
It is. Look at the teeth even, on him. But, his like facial expression, it's like, it's almost like, she's mine, I want to keep her to me. She's almost as if he loves her or something. It's not like a vicious look.
Yes.
I'm not explaining that properly, but
No, I understand that. Uh,
Yeah.
I think it's when we're looking at this, who is the one who is having the nightmare? Is it Mina or is it Dracula or
Yeah.
Nosferatu?
Yeah, because I mean his face, the way he's like, "Oh, don't take her from me," almost.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. hmm And I do have to put this up. You're right, Maria. Frank Waldhorn makes excellent musicals. So, and Pamela loves A Knife Collection. Yes, it does look like the Nosferatu version,
Yeah.
and it's a Klaus Kinski. And I think one of the reasons that I appreciated about this is there's variety in the knives, and because we recognize that this is an iconic look on the face, and it stirs up a
Yes.
lot of emotion.
Yes, it does.
So,
Agree.
yes. And Beth said, yes, Dracula was tortured by both
Yeah.
lack of love and his immortality.
Yes.
Exactly.
True.
Hello, Jonathan.
Bye.
And then we have
The 10.
the 10 of knives. I'm good with this.
Yeah.
It's one of
Yeah.
those like, yep, there you go. And then we go into the court, and this is the Knight Mayor of Life in Death, the
Yeah.
Knave of
The
Knives.
Knave of Knives and the nightmare of life in death. So you might think, oh, you're immortal, but is it a good thing?
hmm
Or is it really what it says here? I love that.
Yes, that is well said. I agree with you. I agree with you. Then we have Samuel Taylor Coleridge as the Knight of Knives.
Yes.
Then we have the Queen of Knives, who is Ellen Terry.
Is another one I really liked because wasn't she the friend or possible partner of Pamela Coleman Smith?
I believe so. Yes. Yes.
So I love that she's included as well.
Yes. And then we have the King of Knives, which is Lord Byron.
I also like this one because it's Lord Byron.
hmm Yes. Okay. And then we go to I'm gonna jump ahead for a second because um, the pentacles are called garlic flowers.
Yes.
And Emma the Grey said, "Oh heck, yes, Byron card." Ooh,
Yes.
Byron. And Lady Knight of Avalon said, "I like the backstory
Yeah.
for that Wes Craven's Dracula gave for the silver and the night sunlight explaining the curse and the punishment." Yep. Astrological Tarot is here. Hello, Michelle Marie. Good to see you.
Yeah. Yeah, because remember when we're talking about the miners, it's all tools of the Slayer. So
hmm
God flowers.
Yes. And this is the garlic flower, so that's the
Yeah.
ace. Then we go to the two.
I like this too.
I do too. I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of the Two of Pentacles. Anybody who's
Yeah,
watched this channel knows that, and I like it.
I do really like it.
And then we have the three. Bye, Sherry. I again,
It's
we
okay.
have we have the pips, but then we also
Mm,
see what's going on. So
yes.
I get that. Because imagine if you'd lived forever, you'd have a lot of time to get really good at doing things.
Oh yes, you would.
And
I like this. Look how evil
mhm,
he looks.
yes. And in the story, there are references to piles of money and doubloons
There.
and lots of things are everywhere and
Yeah.
just like piled up like stuff.
Yeah.
We have the five.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Because we've still got like this stained glass window, which we often see in the RWS, don't we?
Yes. Then we have the 6.
Yeah.
It's interesting way to have some nostalgia.
Yes.
I'm going to bite you so that we're going to share blood.
Yeah.
Hi, Pierrette. Jonathan is driving, so no chatting.
I love
7.
it.
Yes, it's pretty, isn't it?
The bat going into Dracula, or Dracula going into the bat, turning into, like. Cool.
Deborah H said that 5 of
garlic flowers
garlic leaves makes so much sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we have the 8.
Yeah.
I always like an 8 of Pentacles. I like a 3 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles. They working so nice together. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles. I like this. It's so straightforward.
It is straightforward, yes.
So imagine being a vampire and not being able to see the sun.
Yeah.
There's just something about that. It's like, ooh, yeah. And then we have the 10.
This one I'm not so fond of.
It's okay.
It's okay, yeah. I mean, I don't dislike or hate any of the cards, but if I had to choose, this would be like, yeah, not my favourite.
Yeah, the 9 of Pentacles is lovely. Such a good. So then we go to the Knave of Garlic Flowers, which is Lord Ruthven.
Yeah.
Handsome person.
Yes.
And then we have John, is it Polidori?
Is it Polidori?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And okay, so the pile of stuff on it was it's coins.
It's coins. It's like gold.
It's coins, yeah.
Oh.
Thank you, Jenna.
Oh, really?
Queen of Garlic Flowers is Florence Stoker.
Oh.
And followed up by the king is Bram Stoker.
Bram Stoker.
We were both doing the same thing. We're like,
yeah, I know.
Like, I so appreciate the inclusion there.
Yeah.
And thank you for those of us who are watching, continuing. Then we have the stakes, which would be the wands.
Yes. So we have the ace.
There you go.
I like the blood dripping off.
Yes. And then we have the 2.
The bat outside.
Stakes.
Oh, I like.
Yeah. Yep. And then the 3.
I do really like this for some reason, just the 3 wolves. I don't know what it is, but this card I really like that.
I appreciate it because the wolves they're not moving, they're actually getting a look, figuring out where they're going to go.
Yes.
And the 3 of Wands is oftentimes is the card of planning.
Planning,
and long range.
Yes.
Yes, I highly recommend reading the book. I also recommend listening to the book.
Yeah.
Then we have the 4. Yeah. How's that for a union? I'm going to suck your blood.
Yeah. Yes. I'm going to suck your blood. Is she sucking his blood? Yeah. I'm going to suck your blood from your nipple area by the looks of it, possibly.
Judgment-free zone. Have a good time. Consent is everything.
Yeah.
Oh, Kathy said the three wolves looking in three directions. Nice.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yes. This is the first time I've seen this much of this deck. It's gorgeous. It really is.
It is.
So, but purchase responsibly, know your limits, tarot collector disclaimer. Then we have the 5.
And this is like a Bela Lugosi type of
Yes.
Dracula, if you're familiar with Dracula films.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Which is, I also appreciate it in that sense, where
Definitely.
Robert honors the history of the story and uses it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. We have the 6.
You've got the 3 brides there again.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then we have the 7.
It's quite dramatic, that, isn't it?
Yes. Sunique Tarot said, I never appreciated vampires until I had to have blood transfusions. LOL. Don't judge until you know. True. It's the 8.
Somebody getting
ready to actually do the deed.
Yeah.
And then the 9.
I like this
I
one.
appreciate this 9. It's so dramatic.
It is. This brightness around him, really stands out of the card.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then we have the 10.
Which is so creepy. A hand.
It is.
The coffin, which I do like.
Mm-hmm. And then we go into the court cards.
Can I just want to say for a minute, Gerald, the next 2 cards, the Knave and the Knight of Stakes.
Mm-hmm.
So the Knave is Ligeia, and the Knight is Edgar Allan Poe, and Ligeia is one of his stories.
Oh.
So I think that is cool. And I love Edgar Allan Poe, so the fact that he's in this deck is very cool to me, and one of his stories too.
I think that's beautiful. You're right.
You're
right.
I love that.
And again, this is where Robert M. Place really excels, does his research, stands on the shoulders of others. So definitely. That MA said that Poe card, swoon. Talk about an iconic image and an iconic person.
So good. I so love that image.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then we have the Queen, which is Charlotte Stoker.
Charlotte Stoker.
And then we have the King is Franz Liszt. So, pretty incredible.
It is, definitely.
So,
it's such a good deck and so good for this time of year. If you do it.
Yes. Well, and you were talking about you actually use the deck, you use it as a majors only.
Yeah, I have done. I mean, I'm trying to use it more as a complete deck. But yeah, I've used it as majors only because I'm not over fond of pips. But this deck is not too bad because they are kind of illustrated pips, aren't they? You get some.
I agree.
A bit extra.
I agree.
But I have it as majors only as well.
Yeah.
But then, I guess you could do that with any deck, really, if you just felt like it. If you just wanted to use the majors, you could, couldn't you?
Of course. Of course.
But I have done that with this deck.
And
it's worked out well. Worked out cool.
Yes, it is very out of print. And
yes, it is, unfortunately. It's possible to get it in places like eBay or the selling or swap groups, but it's not cheap. It is
expensive.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
I was very fortunate, but I got mine quite a few years ago,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Jennifer,
Yeah,
Jenna said, absolutely. Admittedly, I don't use this deck, too precious.
I
And they
don't
do
use
surface occasionally.
I mainly get this out at this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't use it a great deal because of the fact that it's like out of print. And I just worry as well about those sharp corners, about it starting to fray or, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to round it because of it being out of print.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and here's the thing. If you're going to use it, then go for it. Do whatever you want to enjoy it. Emma the Gray says, I use mine, can't not.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I
Like
completely
I say, I
understand that.
do use it. Yes,
Yes.
particularly at this time of year, but not just for like Halloween, but the darker half of the year, if you like.
I like the way that you say that, the darker half of the year. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah. So this is, for those of you who have stuck around, the Vampire Tarot Robert M. Place
In the
tarot
huge.
deck. It's, yeah, huge box. It's beautiful. The book itself is, including the bibliography, is 127 pages. And then there's a section of notes, and it does include spreads. So Robert has really continues to create good stuff.
Yeah, really. It's a brilliant
Oh.
book.
Sonique said, bought mine used and it came borderless and edged in black.
That's
I could
fine.
see that.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. And again, for those of you who are joining, here is the back.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to talk about with this deck?
Um.
I put her on the spot, people.
Yeah.
That's
You
why
have.
she's like, Gerald, why are you doing that to me?
Um. No. No. I don't think really. Apart from the things I've already said, like the fact of of including Pamela Coleman Smith and even
Yeah.
like Ellen Terry, and the two of them, go together like Edgar Allan Poe and the Ligeia. I just think that's so cool, and to put that into this deck that is a vampire deck. But
Yes.
because there was associations with Pamela Coleman Smith and Bram Stoker.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Yeah.
so, and of course, I just do like Robert M. Place's style of artwork.
I do too.
I have other decks by him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kathy said, I got the other vampire deck, Terra of Vampires, which I'm using at the moment. It's a good alternative to this one, this out of print one, and it also has an excellent book. Yes, it does have
Yeah.
an excellent book.
Is that the Ian Daniels one? Because I don't have that, and I keep thinking I should get it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do like the kind of gothic style images in that one from what I've seen.
Yeah.
And the book is supposed to be really good.
And it looks like Maria said at least the book is available for Kindle for cheap.
Yeah. Oh, excellent.
I was not aware of that.
Oh,
That's great. Robin, I actually read the book Dracula. So.
Oh yes, I've read the actual book as well.
P189 talks about border colors. Can you show them, please? Page 189 talks about border colors. Okay.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So majors, little pink.
That kind of purpley colour, aren't they?
Yes, I'm trying to find a good.
Well, it's not purple. It's more.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because we've got purple in the holy water.
This is a darker.
It's a dark purple, though, isn't it?
It's a bluier purple.
Yeah.
And I know bluier, So.
Yeah.
And the swords
the swords have got that kind of taupe or
Goldy.
beigey colour. You can see it kind of more on here, I guess. On
Yes, you can.
yeah.
And then we have green for the garlic flowers.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sunique.
Yeah, green for the garlic flowers, and it's red for the
steaks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's good that they do. They is kind of different colours for the different suits, but it's not glaring in your face. Not great big huge red, like or whatever colour borders as well as the white. Because can you imagine that would have been too much, wouldn't it?
Yes, and it is one of those things that I appreciate about a well-crafted deck is you can look at something and get a response, and then you can dive deeper into it and study it and use it, and then you notice something new, which I appreciate. Yes, Hillary, go watch a vampire film. I recommend the Bram Stoker's Dracula, starring Keanu Reeves and Gary Oldman.
Oh my God, I love that one.
You're welcome.
That film. Yeah. Oh, love that.
Yes, and what's great about it is it does a good job. I think, do they call it exposition? You get the background and what was in the book.
Yes.
You get some understanding about how they're dealing with it, how Mina is feeling, how Jonathan is feeling. It's really, it's quite powerful.
And I love, like, you know, like when you see the Count as very old and everything, and then he is then younger later on. Gary Oldman's so good.
Yes.
The Ian Daniels one. Yes, I need to get it, Kathy.
I have not seen that one, so. But
yeah, I need to get
so if people would like me, leave a comment after the live to let me know if you want me to do a standard flip through of this without commentary, and if you don't want to see our smiling faces. Yeah, that is visually stunning. It really is.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the cards as well, I find when you're looking at them, you first look and you see, like, I don't know, with the wagon, a horse wagon. But then as you start looking into the background, you see other things that you don't see immediately. I find with the deck in particular, I know that can happen with other decks, but I found that with this one, that I will home in on something straight away, and then as I'm continuing to look, there's this. Yeah.
Yes.
It's really cool about it.
Yes. Great. Okay. Yes, the Gary Oldman. And I keep saying Bram Stoker's Dracula is because it's Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's not Dracula.
Yeah.
And my favorite moody, creepy one is Vampire. Robin says, and I believe said it's silent, he thinks. You're welcome, Beth.
Yeah.
Prettiest Dracula, for me, it's a toss-up between Frank Langella and Louis Jordan.
My favourite Dracula, if we're talking about, like, I mean, Gary Oldman was great in that Dracula film, but in some of the older, like, Hammer horror and films, my favourite was Christopher Lee. Always, I loved Dracula.
Yes.
Every time I used to see him, even being interviewed, all I thought was, Dracula. He was like imposing. He was tall, and the whole thing. It was just so good with him. I thought that's my personal opinion.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, that's a good one. There's a recent British series too, which is cool. I love the film Only Lovers Left Alive. Tilda Swinton. Can't go wrong with Tilda Swinton. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And Love the Hunger with David Bowie, Susan Sarandon, and Catherine Deneuve. Well, of course, Christopher Lee, Vincent Price.
Price I love as well. Yes, I've got all of Vincent Price's, or most of Vincent Price's films on DVD,
Oh, of
especially the ones
course.
he did that were like adaptations of Edgar Allan Poe stories, because I just think Vincent Price is so perfect and acts
Yes,
those. And
I
you
agree.
agree.
I
So,
agree. Hey, Sandra, the Whispering Well people, make sure you go like and subscribe. Thank you. And what do you got coming up on your channel?
I don't have like a huge amount coming up at the moment. Next week there probably won't be any videos at all, because I'm going to Glastonbury for a few days.
Yay.
So Monday until Thursday, so that will be cool. So there might be a little haul video afterwards. Not a huge one, but there might be
Very
afterwards,
nice.
as I've again like managed to save up some money for that.
Of
So we'll be
course.
and I do still have some decks to do walkthroughs of that I've not managed to do yet. So yeah, there will be those coming up too.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, tomorrow, as I mentioned earlier, I am going to be on It's Tuesdays with Stash exclusively on Jane the Seeker, and that's in the morning where we're doing readings. But then at tomorrow is the October issue of hashtag Back and Forth with Jamie and Gerald, and Jonathan Daly is asking the questions.
Oh, excellent.
So we like that. And then I am on Saturday. I am going to be on Rosemary, Good Journeys Tarot, birthday special. And then Sunday, I have a deck casual for the Spirit Keepers Tarot, and Benabel Wynn is joining us for that. So that's very exciting.
Oh, that's exciting.
And
Yes.
yes. So, and got lots of other good stuff planned. So please like and subscribe. And Peter J. Watt said, getting off Sandra's voice is too relaxing to listen to. As usual, wonderful discussion. See you, Gerald, and all. So yes, I'm looking forward to. I've got some really good stuff planned for October and some really good stuff planned for November. So it's great.
Coming up.
So everybody needs to like and subscribe to see that. So
Right.
all right, thanks everybody,
Yeah.
and I will let's all righty. Thanks for watching. Bye.